A very good morning to all my students of class 12. Today we are going to start the first online class, and here I am starting with language part, though it is not specifically given in syllabus, but to know poems, the style of writing, the style of language, this part is very much important to understand. uh, the part I'm going to start, the topic I'm going to start is figure of speech. Figure of speech, we know, rhetoric, which is highly used by all the poets in their poem. To define figure of speech, I should say a figure of speech is a word or phrase used for vivid or dramatic effect. Figure of speech are commonly used in order to impart vividity, beauty, and effectiveness to language. So, I hope you have understood what does figure of speech mean, what does rhetoric mean. In my own words, I would like to tell you uh, that this is an ornament. Like people wear ornament to beautify herself, especially girls. Women wear ornament for what? For beautifying herself. Here, figure of speech is considered as ornament of language. To beautify language, this ornament, that means figure of speech, is used. So, I hope this very domestic words will be useful to understand the main motto of using figure of speech in language. So, to beautify language, to beautify writing, poets have used figure of speech in their poems, in their writing. Okay, so now we will go to our next part, that is, I will discuss about the types of figure of speech. There are many types. Today we will start with few of them. So the first one is alliteration, then simile, metaphor, personification, apostrophe, hyperbole, antithesis, pun, paradox, onomatopoeia, metonymy, oxymoron, then idioms, etc. So let's start with the definition of few of them at first. Alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of two or more words. I hope you are able to understand. This is the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of two or more words. In the same line, you will find words with same consonant sound. For example, as fair as the fabulous asphodels, full fathom 5 thy father lies. As fair as the fabulous, fair, fabulous. See, these two words are used in the same line, fair F, fabulous F, the same consonant sound we are getting. So this is an example of alliteration. Full fathom 5 thy father lies. Full fathom 5 father. All these four words are started with the same consonant sound. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Fair, foul, foul, fair. All the four words starts with F, the same consonant sound. So this is, I hope you have understood the use of alliteration. Again, I am giving you the definition. It is the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of two or more words. Okay. The next we will go is simile. Simile. What is simile? In simile, at least one similarity between two dissimilar objects is explicitly stated with the help of like, as, or so. Again, I am repeating. In simile, at least one similarity between two dissimilar objects is explicitly stated with the help of like, as, or so. That means two dissimilar objects, but at least one similarity has been found in that. And this is explicit. And we make this similarity with the help of the words like, as, or so. Let's pick an example. How far that little candle throws his beams, so shines a good deed in a naughty world. And thy soul was like a star. Thy means your. Soul was like a star. Here the word which are joining these two similar words is like. And what are the two dissimilar words? Thy soul and a star. Here is your soul and a star. A similarity has been built up between the two different objects, thy soul and a star. One more very easy example I am giving. She is as pretty as a rose. She is as pretty as a rose. So here two different objects are she and the rose. Both are different things, but the similarity has been built up in these two. Her beauty is compared with the beauty of a rose, and this comparison is same. So I think these examples are possible enough to understand. The next, I will go to metaphor. It is the definition of it is the metaphor is the imaginative use of a word or phrase to describe somebody or something as another object in order to show that they have the same qualities and to make the description more forceful. That means this is an imaginary comparison, imaginative use of a word or phrase in between two things. An imaginative use of a word or phrase is used. Why? To describe somebody or something as another object. So have you understood? To describe somebody or something as another object, metaphor is used. And these description are shown by words or phrases. Both are totally different things and totally different from one another. But here these both are compared by giving imaginative words or phrases. Why this is done? This is done in order to show that they have the same qualities. Okay, to show that they have the same qualities and to make the description more forceful, means to make the description more forceful, more powerful, more attractive, we use metaphor. Okay, and in it the similarity between two dissimilar objects is suggested and not clearly stated through so, as, or like in simile what we have done, two different objects are there and the comparison is made, same comparison, and so or like or as, these words are used to make the to like compare with each other, the similarity, to show the similarity, and it is explicit. But in case of metaphor, this is not explicit. The comparison or the description is not explicit, it is implicit. And the similarity between two dissimilar objects is suggested and not clearly stated. Here it is not clearly stated as it is clearly stated in simile. uh, Take an example. The camel is the sheep of the desert. So here, camel is one object, the sheep is the other object. Both are very, very much different. But, and this is not compared with the word so, with so or as or like, but it is clearly it is stated. And camel is compared with the sheep, and camel is called the sheep of the desert. uh, so the next example is, the news was a dagger to his heart. So how can a news be a dagger? A news cannot be a dagger, but it has a deep meaning. This news was so shocking or so dangerous that it has worked as a dagger. Though no blood is coming from heart, or nothing, he the injury of the heart is not seen, but the news is so much scary or violent or whatever like that, it acts like a dagger. So here the news is compared with a dagger. What a dagger can do, the news has done that. So here the comparison is made between two dissimilar objects, and this comparison is implicit. It is not clearly stated. You have to understand the deepness, the meaning of it. So this is the basic difference between the two figure of speeches, that is simile and metaphor. Simile is explicit and metaphor is implicit. To understand metaphor, you need to have a deep sense of understanding. It is not easily compared, not easily it is easily or clearly stated like simile, like using so as or like, but it is totally different and a bit tough than simile. Okay, it is considered as the basic figure of speech. Metaphor is considered as the basic figure of speech. The use of two or more metaphors in the same expression is known as the mixed metaphor. This is important. The use of two or more metaphor in the same expression. If you want to use two or more metaphor in the same expression, that will be known as mixed metaphor. An example is, I smell a rat, I see it floating in the air, but I will nip it in the bud. Okay, then we will go to the next example, that is personification. It is the attribution of human sensibility to an abstraction or intimate object. It is the attribution of human sensibility to an abstraction or intimate object. For example, laughter holding both her sides. Death lays her icy hands on kings. Okay, the next is hyperbole. It is the deliberate and obvious exaggeration of language for creating effect. Hyperbole means it is a deliberate and obvious exaggeration. Exaggeration means, when you are the show off is great. You are like showing it off greatly. You are presenting it with excessiveness, that is called exaggeration. So it is the deliberate and obvious exaggeration of language for creating effect, only for creating effect. uh, Here I am giving you an example. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. This is an exaggeration. All the perfumes of Arabia means all the perfumes of Arab will not sweeten this little hand. So to sweeten this little hand, see the little hand. To sweeten it, all the perfumes of Arabia will not be enough. So this is an exaggeration. All the amount will not be enough for a little hand. This is how you can learn and use figure of speech in your speaking as well. As I said, this is ornamentation. It beautifies your speaking and writing. Today, we have just discussed with this 5 types of figure of speech. In our next class, we will discuss more. For the time being, learn it properly and try to find out when you why this is important, very much important, why I have started with figure of speech, because this is the very important, one of the important aspects of language. And to understand poems better, to understand the language of poets in better way, you should have a vivid and clear knowledge of figure of speech. I hope students, you all will cooperate with me, and if you have found any problem understanding anything, just let me know. I'll be there for making it clear more. Thank you.